Our guest this morning, or this afternoon rather, is a member of the group Little Brother. He is, well, they are one of the finest groups creating in what he has himself described as blue-collar hip-hop.
It's a touching intro, man. I'm getting choked up on it, dog.
He is not the official producer in the group. However, I think he has a little something to do with the direction and the sound that they come up with. So won't you please join me in welcoming Mr. Phonte Coleman.
Thank y'all. Y'all far too kind. Y'all are far too kind. Thank y'all for real, man. For real. Y'all all right? Yeah. We gonna keep it live in here today. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, this ain't gonna be the dry lecture, you know what I'm saying? Like, we gonna get into it. We gonna do some things. We gonna keep it popping, you know what I'm saying? It's going down. I'm giving it to you raw and real, nigga, without a bag, nigga. This is how it's going down. Tonight, I wore my darkest colored shirt so you niggas would see me. It's going down, so you know what I'm saying? So, welcome. I really feel like an honor to be here, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, I'm actually a big fan of the Red Bull Music Academy, and, like, it's like the only, I guess, the equivalent of, you know, inside the actor studio, like for rappers and shit. So it's, you know.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
that would make me James Lipton.
You would be James Lipton. So Phonte.
Something I've always aspired to be.
You know, songs about whores. Tell us about, you know what I mean? So it's going to be funny, man.
So Phonte, tell me, where are you from originally, and where's the group from?
I'm originally from a city, Greensboro, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. The group is from a city called Durham, North Carolina. Durham is, you know, relatively mid-sized town in North Carolina.
What's that area known for?
That area is known for basketball. Any, like, basketball fans, like ACC basketball fans, like Duke, Carolina.
Carolina, right over here.
Tar Heel, okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. We got a Tar Heel right there. All right, well, yeah, so it's, yeah, it ain't really known for much, though, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, basketball, tobacco, medicine, that's pretty much it, you know what I'm saying?
Colleges.
Colleges. It's mainly a college town, big college town.
So you attended college in Durham?
Yeah, I attended college in Durham, in North Carolina Central University, which is a historically black college, you know, HBCU. A lot of these, y'all are from other countries. HBCU is a term that means historically black colleges and universities, and what those are, like colleges that are mainly in the South that were founded as mainly colleges like for black people, you know, black at the end of slavery, you know what I'm saying? We got a lot of grants from the government that were started for black kids to be able to go to school. And so there's still some left today, quite a few left, but I give it about 10, 15 more years.
Right.
I don't know how much longer they're gonna be standing. But
so the group started out of NCCU, is that correct?
NCCU.
And who were the other members of the group?
For
those who might not be aware.
Gotcha, I got you. Because, you know, we sold millions of records, and, you know, it's not like they would know. Nah, man, the other two members of the group are my MC partner, Big Pooh, and the producer, Ninth Wonder. So, like y'all may know Ninth, he did Threat for Jay-Z, he did
Destiny's Child.
Destiny's Child, Girl, Is She the Reason? It's a couple joints.
God's Stepson remix album, which made all you hip-hop producers, I'm sure, are familiar with.
Jay-Z remix album, yeah.
Now, North Carolina, the group is from North Carolina. What was the environment like, you know, for you guys to come out with the sound that you came out with out of North Carolina?
Man, for us, it was like, we were an anomaly, you know what I'm saying? We were the kind of black sheep, I guess. North Carolina, for those of you that may not be familiar with the South is like really, it's diverse, but it's not as diverse as, you know, BET or MTV would, you know, let you to believe. So pretty much the sound that's coming out of the South right now is like your heavy 808, you know, the crunk, or, you know, the snap music, you know what I'm saying, that stuff. So for me, Pooh, and Ninth to be coming out with some kind of like early 90s like throwback shit was really kind of like, wow. It was a good and bad thing. It was good in a way that it got us a look that we wouldn't have got otherwise, but it was kind of bad in a way that like, and I actually wrote a blog about this. It's kind of like, it was kind of like a backhanded compliment, you know what I'm saying? It was like a way like how people say, it's like if somebody said, you know, you're pretty cute for a fat girl. You know what I'm saying? Or if like a motherfucker told you like, you know, for a black guy, you're pretty smart. You know what I mean? So for us, it was, ooh man, y'all boys spitting to be from the South. And it's like, what the fuck that supposed to mean? Like, is everybody in the South is like just like barely functioning literates or some shit? Like, you know what I mean? Like, so it was a good thing in that, you know, had we probably been from like a Brooklyn or LA or whatever, people just probably would have heard and been like, all right, whatever. But the bad thing about it was that it was just kind of, at least the way I took it, was just kind of on some backhanded compliment shit. Like, ooh, you speak so well. You know what I mean? It was kind of some bullshit. But you know, it worked out and it got people talking. Right. Got me here, so you know, I ain't mad.
Well, you guys had you guys in some ways are really a product of this age and this era, as far as like getting some notoriety initially before you even, you know, were signed to a deal. Do you want to explain a little bit about how that came about? Who championed you and how did that happen? Well, initially, our buzz kind of began on the internet. I was a big fan of the site OK Player, and that's the site with The Roots, Common, Most, Jazz Fat Nasty, like a bunch of people. And I was mainly just a big Roots fan. And so I used to go to the site just to discuss music, you know, just bullshitting and like discuss music and, you know, download shit and whatever. And so pretty much when we started making music, we just put one of our songs up there just for whatever, just to let people, just to get a honest opinion on it. Because the internet is a funny thing. I mean, I'm sure a lot of y'all know, like the internet is good because like you can get an unbiased opinion on your stuff, you know what I mean? Because everybody's a tough guy on the internet, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's, you know. And I kind of learned that once I started meeting actual chat room users and shit, and the shit didn't match up, you know what I'm saying? Like, they be online, yeah, fuck this nigga, that shit was whack. Motherfucker, this shit horrible, nigga, ooh, that shit whack. Fuck that shit. And then you meet them in person and it's like, hi, I'm B-Boy78 on OK Player. It's like, nigga, what the fuck is wrong with you? You didn't get enough hugs as a child. But nah, so it's just like, you know, the internet can be a funny thing. Cause you know, everybody's a thug. Everybody's a keyboard thug. So we just put the joint out there and it got a good response. And the first song we put out, it was called Whatever You Say. And we put it up there and it just ended up getting crazy downloads. And, you know, we were like I guess we were like the Tila Tequila of OK Player, you know what I'm saying? It was before the MySpace had jumped off. But, and that was how it jumped off. And so from that point, we caught the ear of Questlove from The Roots. And he championed the group. He came out, was like, yo, I love this, you know. Pete Rock was a fan. Pete Rock was actually the reason why I quit my job. And, but we started getting props from a lot of places. Started getting props from people that I grew up listening to. And it was just all kind of breathtaking, man. Yeah, so. Why was Pete Rock's words of encouragement? Or what was your job? Man, I had a job, man. I was working at Belk. Belk is like a retail store, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's a department store, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what the Australian equivalent of Belk would be, but it's like, it's just, you know, they sell like, you know, shirts and tops and just, you know, just all kind of shit. China and, you know, all this shit. And so I was working there. I was working in the Tommy Hilfiger section, actually. I was selling polos. And I called home to check my messages one day, and there was a message on the phone. I go through all of them, boo, boo, boo. And so you get to the last message, message sent on 2:28 p.m. And it's like, yo, what's going on, Phonte? It's Chocolate Boy Wonder Pete Rock. Yo, the album is crazy to listen, classic. Like, yo, I gotta get you on this album, son, peace. I had to listen to it again. Yo, what's going on, son? It's Chocolate Boy Wonder Pete Rock. Just wanna let you know your album's classic, son. Gotta get you on this album. Peace. So, you know, I done been through a lot of things. I ain't gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, it's a lot of, you know, people, oh shit. it's a lot of people, let me move my ice out the way. The
ice in my teeth keep the crystal cold. Nah, it's just like, yeah, I've been through a lot of shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I done seen, you know, my children born, I done seen, you know, but when Pete Rock, like, called me, yo, that was the first time I actually came close to fainting. I ain't gonna lie, that ain't, you know, at the risk of sounding like a groupie, whatever the fuck, yo, fuck that. Yo, that was Pete Rock calling my house, man. And so, it was at that moment that I realized that I didn't want to work no more. So, it was, you know, it was around the holidays, and you know, in the States we have, I don't know if I ever here, we have, it's called Black Monday, and it's basically the Monday after Thanksgiving, right? Yep. And that's like the busiest shopping day of the year. Like the shit is insane. Like I'm talking like motherfuckers lined out outside Toys R Us. You know what I'm saying? To get the motherfucking. Damn, I look sexy out there. Jesus. That's a nice fit. I look. That's why I ain't never done this shit. You know what I mean? This is some new shit. You know what I mean? This is so provocative. But anyway, so Black Monday, I was supposed to work on Black Monday, and I just didn't go. You know what I'm saying? Like they called me and it was like, you know, Phonte, you know, you're gonna come, you know, we need you. Cause like, granted, the day started like 6 in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, like, which means I had to be there at like 5. You know what I'm saying? To open the store. 5 o'clock. Who the fuck is buying Tommy Hilfiger sweatshirts at 6 in the morning? I'm supposed to sell this? Are you fucking crazy? I'm gone. You niggas will not see me ever again. So I just didn't show up. And, you know, that was just like a leap of faith. I mean, you know, I had my rent due, but it was just something telling me just to step out on faith. You know what I'm saying? Right. And, you know, I just did it, and it paid off.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's actually after your first LP, Little Brother's first LP came out.
Yeah.
Right? So from the OK Player, Attention, everything, and Questlove's Attention, then you got the deal with ABB.
Right.
I guess talk a little bit about, tell us a little bit about the reception to the album. I mean, obviously some of your heroes gave you some, you know, positive feedback.
Yeah.
But you talked a little bit about the internet and you know, getting an honest response. And I guess if you could discuss a little bit about the whole idea of buzz, of hype, things of that nature.
Buzz, hype.
Because you know that for people, you know, who might not have been, you know, checking OK Player and they didn't know you until the actual album came out, you know, there was already, you know, a lot of sort of buzz around the project.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man, like, and I mean, Mao, like, we discussed this, so, but it's like, man, the key thing that I would say to everybody in here, the artists, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I've been around here, you know, got in yesterday, and I was just kind of peeking my head in, listening to some stuff. Some stuff I heard was good, some stuff I heard was, like, you know, amazing. But the thing I would say to all of you, like, no matter what skill level you are, whatever, don't believe your own hype. Don't believe your own hype. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times as artists, we kind of live in an echo chamber, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, you know, you're around like-minded artists, so a lot of times what you hear is, oh, yo, I love that shit. This shit is dope. This shit is, ooh, you killing it. You, ooh, you, ooh, ooh. You know what I'm saying? And so you hear that all the time, and that kind of creates a false sense of security in your art and in yourself. And you kind of think like, damn, maybe I am really that next shit. You know what I'm saying? And the thing about it is that it is partly justified because it's not to cut your talent and say that you're not, but the thing you have to realize is that, you know, all of us, we are not the norm. You feel me? Like, we are not, we do not represent the taste of the vast majority of people. You feel me? Like, yeah, you know, we're geniuses and we're creative and we just, you know, we expand the limits, but, you know, we ain't the motherfuckers that's voting on American Idol. You feel me? Like, you know, we ain't the motherfuckers that's buying, now that's what I call music volume 40 and shit. You feel me? Those are the masses. You feel me? So it's like, a lot of times, we kind of, you know, when you on the internet a lot and like you hear this stuff about yourself and, you know, you hear like from the journalists and stuff and you see all this praise about you, you kind of like, it's, again, it becomes a kind of echo chamber and you start to believe your own hype. And if there's a lesson to be learned from the Little Brother saga, from moving to an ABB, and from moving from an ABB, which is an indie label, moving to Atlantic Records, which is a major label, that to me would be the lesson learned. Don't believe your own hype. Don't believe your own hype. Don't, you know, during the time period when everything happened, you know, the listening came out, and it was just like, ooh, breath of fresh air, you know what I'm saying? We got like 4 mics in the source, and, you know, for an indie album, which was like, you know, it was kind of rare, very rare. And 4 mics in the source, you know, getting write-ups in XXL, and we going on tours, and we doing all this, and everybody was kind of tooting you as, you know, the next big thing or whatever. So then you make the move to a major, and it's like, okay, well, we got a fan base, we got this, we got that. We should be good to go. You know what I'm saying? We ready to do it. We're going to take over the world. And then the first week numbers come out, it's like, okay, all right, okay. Hey, Belk, what's going on? Listen, this is Phonte. Yeah, I remember I quit that last week, but I was wondering if there were any more openings in the Tommy section. I heard y'all got the new fall line in, and I wanted to help you out with that. It's, you know, it's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. And so that is what I would say, you know, going from my first record, which was The Listening, you know, which got like, you know, tons of critical acclaim, tons of buzz and hype and all that shit, then moving to a major label with our second album, The Minstrel Show, which got the same amount of buzz and hype and critical acclaim, but, you know, we believe the hype.
Well, let me ask you something before we even jump into that.
Okay.
You know, was there any hesitance on you, the group's part, even to go towards Atlantic? Because, I mean,
I know.
you know, was, you know, I know, like, everybody wants to, you know, reach more people that are like-minded, you know, expand their audience. But, you know, was there any consideration taken to that? Because I remember there's a lyric on the Minstrel Show where you say, I had, you know, cats telling me I shouldn't rhyme, to dropping an album that, you know, people couldn't find.
Right.
Right. So tell me a little bit about the sort of environment being on an ABB.
Gotcha.
And you know, the decision to go from there to Atlantic.
Yeah. Well, pretty much, man. We started out on an indie label, ABB, and like the good thing about indie labels, which some of you may have worked out already, may be familiar. Indies is a good thing because they say, you know, you can do whatever you want. We are all about the artists. We are all about the art and the art of the art. You can do what you want. And then it's like, okay, well, you know, pay me. Well, that's where we don't do that. But you know, we don't really have money for that yet. But this is the art. And you know, that's the kind of give and take of the indie situation. It's like the money may not be just crazy, but you can do whatever you want to do. Now, the flip side about that is that on a major label, yeah, the money is better, but at that point, you're kind of controlled by corporate interests. So, you know, it's safe to say that if you name your album The Minstrel Show, that, you know, chances are, you know, you kind of going to cut yourself off from a lot of things. So pretty much from ABB, it was, you know, Benny B, he's from Oakland, and, you know, he still runs the label. You know, we still stay in contact, we still do business, and we actually brought him on in our Atlantic deal to handle our vinyl, because we still felt it was a good time. It was a good point for us to keep that grassroots connection, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And so, you know, being with the indie is just kind of like, on an indie label, if I bring an album to my indie label on Monday in January, a Tuesday in March, we can have it out on the shelves. Major label, I bring it to the label on a Monday in 2005. Y'all might not see it the damn 07, 08, 06 at best. It's a lot more red tape. And so that was something that we kind of had to get used to, because it was just like on the indie, it's just go. Like, yo, you want to press this up? Cool, fuck it, let's do it. Yo, I just finished this on my laptop last night, nigga, let's get it out. Ooh, word up, let's do it. On a major, it's just like, I was like, yo, we got this song, we think it's wonderful. Yeah. I don't hear a single. Yeah, just take that back and work on that some more. So it's it's a different ball game. It's a different ball game. But I can honestly say, just like we were talking, I told you last night, man, I can honestly say that I would not have wished it to go any other way. I'm glad that things happened the way they did with our second album, because looking back in my life and just where I was, like, I honestly can't say, I can honestly sit here in front of all y'all and say that I was not ready for a hit record. Like, I just wasn't, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, explain a little bit about what transpired with the second album, and what was the concept of the album? What was, you know, the album was called The Minstrel Show, you know.
Is this mic straight? Like, can y'all hear it? Damn, can y'all hear it? Is it straight? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. It's all good.
The second album, Little Brother's second album, was titled The Minstrel Show. So, you know, maybe you can explain a little bit about the significance of the title and the concept of the record.
Okay.
And why that might have, you know, affected things a little bit.
Yeah. All right. Well, The Minstrel Show. Are any of y'all like familiar with what that term means? Yeah. From a couple of y'all. Yeah. Basically, the Minstrel Show was is a term that refers to a form of American entertainment that took place back in like the late 1800s, early 1900s. And basically, this is a form where you had black people dressing themselves up in blackface and performing for a white audience. Now, with that, it was pretty much, you know, one of the most crude, you know, racist forms of entertainment, but it also served to form as like the kind of base for all forms of entertainment in the United States. I mean, out of the Minstrel Show, you know, vaudeville was born, you know what I'm saying, which gave birth to, you know, the modern theater, and, you know, which, you know, pretty much got us here today. So there's a lot I can say about that in itself, but pretty much you're dealing with an art form that, in a nutshell, consisted of black people performing these grossly exaggerated acts for white people, and they were pretty much playing out black stereotypes for a white audience, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, you know, yeah, of course black people dumb. Look at him, he's dancing and he's, you know, shucking and jiving and shit. Pretty much that's what the minstrel shows were. Y'all, does everybody understand that? Does it make sense? Okay. So, to link that to current day hip hop, it was just me just kind of thinking about, you know, where the music was going, and, you know, a lot of stuff that I was hearing, and hip hop in a lot of ways was just kind of doing the same thing, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of, you know, instead of it being like an instrument of, you know, positivity, an instrument of, you know, to tell people, you know, that they were beautiful and build people up, it was kind of destructive, you know what I'm saying? And it was a lot of the images and a lot of the stuff that, you know, we were seeing around the time, you know, it was just kind of like, you know, like, damn, enough is enough. It's like, I mean, I'm a fan of, you know, like the 50 Cent and Lil Jon, and, you know, I like dance to that shit just like anybody else, but I think more than anything else, it's a time, particularly, you know, in American music, where there wasn't really a balance of what was being heard on the radio.
Right.
And so, you know, if you're gonna play, you know, 50 Cent 40 times, or, you know, play Odyssey, you know, 20 times, or, you know, just kind of balance it out a little bit, you know what I mean? But it was pretty much like no balance. So that was pretty much the concept of the album. And the concept of the album was, it was basically kind of like a parallel to our careers. Like three rappers signed to a major network called UBN, which was short for the You Black Niggas Network. And yeah, and so they signed to the network and they put on this show called The Minstrel Show. And so on the album, every song served as like a sketch. It was set up like an episode of Saturday Night Live. And so, like, basically every song was like a musical sketch, I guess. Mm-hmm. And so you can understand just by me explaining this shit, it's like sounds kind of crazy, but so once we gave the album to Atlantic, they were just like, yo, we love it, it's great, we think it's brilliant, the way you guys put it together is wonderful, it's this, it's that, but, you know, we don't hear a single. And I'm like, okay. And my thing, probably more so now than ever with radio, is that particularly for artists like us, I don't know, I don't get to travel abroad too often, but particularly for artists like that do the type of stuff that we do, there's no place for us on urban radio. It's just not gonna fucking happen. Like, black radio is not in a million years, like, it's not gonna happen. And the reason being is that a lot of times in urban radio, but also just in radio in general, you know what I'm saying, and just shit, entertainment, period, the law is just to always appeal to the lowest common denominator, you know what I'm saying, to appeal to people's most base interests, you feel me? So if the #1 song in the country is a motherfucker spelling A, B, C, D, anything above that is, you know, it don't stand a chance. And so, you know, particularly with radio, a lot of times people say, well, if you go to the, you know, you talk to labels or you talk to people in the business, they say, well, you know, we're just giving the people what they want. And that's something that I've always questioned, because you have to really look at, in terms of radio and in your media, you have to look at who are the people that they speaking of. The people that they speaking of are not you and I, it's fucking kids, like, seriously. Like, and I'm not talking like teenagers, like 16, 17, like, I'm talking like 9, 10-year-olds. Like, I had a record exec tell me one time, you can tell a hit if you're, you know, my 5-year-old can sing it, it's a hit. I've really heard that shit. And it's like, okay, that makes sense, because, you know, I'm all for, you know, repetition, you know, that's recall, you know, people can say it. Everybody wants to sing along. Nobody wants to hear a song that they can't sing with, I understand that. But it's like, if you're using a 5-year-old to dictate the taste of the adult American public, it's like, shit, 5-year-olds watch Barney. You know what I'm saying? So, in the particular case of, like, you know, artists like Little Brother, you know what I'm saying, it's as far as I'm concerned, I think radio is pretty much a long, it's over. I mean, you can't try to take a person that's been fed Gerber baby food all their life, or, you know, and then, like, put a steak in front of them and be like, okay, eat that. Like, it's just not gonna happen. Like, they can't process it because it's foreign to them, you know?
You said you have no regrets as far as, like, how things transpired with your major label experience, but do you think, like, going into it, you guys were a little naive about it?
Well, actually, I should have been more naive. I should have been more naive. You know, going from an indie, you know what I'm saying, we had a lot of problems, and a lot of our problems were, like, distribution problems. Like, you know, we be getting calls every day, yo, man, I love your record, I can't find it. I'm in Tuscaloosa, Alabama, I can't find it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you know, we just getting calls, like, nobody can find the record. And so, by the time the major label kicked in, by the time we went to Atlantic, we were thinking, like, okay, this is our chance, we got the machine behind us, we about to do it, you know what I'm saying? They about to give us the push, it's going down. Nope, didn't go down. So, in retrospect, I think I should have been a little more naive. I think I should have been a little more jaded and a little more cautious, because it's like, I don't regret it, and I'm happy I made it, because I'm just always a big fan. My philosophy on life is you never know until you try. And I'd much rather make a decision and then look back and be like, damn, I fucked up, than to always sit and wonder, well, what if? What if we had took that chance? What if we would have did this? What if this? And what if we would have made it? And damn, man, I could have been at the Grammys, nigga. Ooh, damn, you know what I mean? So it's better to just take the chance and just fucking take the hit and, you know, just man the fuck up. So in retrospect, I'm happy we made the decision to sign to Atlantic, because it just armed me with so much more knowledge of how this business really works.
Now, I guess, you know, I don't know if there's folks who's not familiar with, you know, the music of the group, maybe there's something you want to play. I mean, I think, you know, if there's any stuff like you want to play from the group.
Yeah, I can play.
Anything.
Run a couple jams.
You know, just to give an idea of you know, what type of stuff they actually create.
Yeah, I make it quick. I ain't gonna give y'all the, you know, give the Little Brother mega mix. And I think this one is. Okay, yeah. And we got the slow joint on it. Yeah. This is actually the first. This is the first song that we ever recorded. It's called Speed, and this is a song that was basically just us talking about how our lives at that time, you know what I'm saying? We were all working jobs, like trying to figure out how we was gonna work jobs and still, you know, make our music, you know what I'm saying? You'd be up in the studio to like 5 in the morning and gotta be at work at 7, you know? So it was a kind of rough time in our life. It was a bittersweet time, like looking back on it. And like listening to this shit now, I sound so young and shit. Like, I don't know if maybe y'all do it, like you listen back on some of your shit and be like, God, I was so young, and like you sound like so naive and shit. Like, you just thought your art was gonna change the world, and then you just get fucking just crushed. Like, fuck your dreams, nigga. So this is the first song we ever recorded. It's called Speed, and this is me singing the hook on this. We'll talk.
All right.
So
all right.
This was from that same album. This was the first song that we put up on OK Player that like got us, you know, the buzz or whatever. The buzz. And this one was called Whatever You Say. This is a song that actually, like, there's a saying that says that artists are often the worst critiques of our own work. And I kind of believe that's true sometimes, because this was a song that once we did it, it was just, we finished it and it was just like, okay, like, all right, cool. Album cut, all right, cool. But, you know, we just threw it up on the internet and, you know, and people went crazy about it. And it was like, damn, really? You know what I'm saying? And then on the other hand, it's like you'll have that song that like you spend like hours on and like you feel like it's just your life's, just your all-encompassing just pain and struggle. And motherfuckers be like, okay, yeah, that was all right. That was, you know, that shit was cool, nigga. So you never know how shit can go. And that's kind of the beautiful thing about art, is because you really know. Anybody that says like they know they have a hit is like they fucking lying. Like you can, it's been stuff that, you know, I'm sure you've been in a situation where you hear some shit and you be like, word up, I think this is it. It's like, you know, you have that feeling, but at the end of the day, nobody really knows, man. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. So this was the song, Whatever You Say. This was the first song that we put up on the internet that kind of kicked off our buzz or whatever. But yeah, that was the first joint we put up, and you know, people really reacted to it, and it kind of surprised all of us.
Right. I mean, one of the things that struck me when I first heard your music, and I'm sure it struck a lot of people who gravitated towards it, is you know, there's a certain ease with which you guys, you know, do what you do, and there's a soulfulness to it. I think that was as you just said, refreshing. You know. You know, it's kind of an intangible thing, but, you know, if you were to try to, like, articulate, you know, I guess if you have it, you have it. If you don't, you don't. But is there some way that you can sort of, like, articulate, you know, why that is, you know, with you guys?
I think a lot of it just has to do with us just being from the South, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, for those of you that, like, may not be, like, familiar, you know what I'm saying, with the American South, it's just the North, like, you know, New York, Philly, you know, Boston, whatever, like, it's more of a faster pace, you know what I'm saying? It's like go, 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 you know what I'm saying? Whereas in the South, things are a lot more calm, it's a lot more quiet, and, you know, you have, like, time to actually, you know, think and shit, you know what I mean? Like, you know, I can open my door and, like, see birds and, like, see the sky and shit, you know what I mean? Like, it's just kind of refreshing. So I think with the thing that made Little Brother work was that the fact that we were coming from a region that had no musical precedence and that really wasn't a music city, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you kind of got a way to get into your own zone and just do your shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, you ain't got to worry about, you know, the A&R man and, you know, 20 other just random motherfuckers coming up in your shit. Like, you can just do your shit in your zone, hone it, you know what I'm saying, perfect it, nurture it, and then once it's ready, then take it to the rest of the world, you know what I'm saying? Versus in New York, you know, in one of your bigger music markets, you kind of under the microscope at jump. And so from the inception of your career, it's you're kind of trying to keep up with the Joneses, so to speak. You know, and then plus too, it's like, you know, like me and Wajid were talking about this, and honestly, we were talking about this the other day, like, you know, cost of living in North Carolina is very low. So, you know, when you know that, you know, your mortgage ain't too expensive, you can hold your dick a little bit and be like, fuck y'all, I ain't doing that shit. What? I ain't selling out, I'll never sell out. You can afford to do it. Cause, you know, shit, you know, it's like, you know, hell, if I just make $1,200 this month, I'm good. So, you know, you can kind of do that shit in the South. Up north, no, it ain't happening. It's like, you know, you got to make that money.
Right.
So I think that's kind of what it is. It's just the ease of the South in general, just the slow pace, and just the real just kind of conversational nature of the South, you know what I'm saying? It's real, and people in the South are kind of known for their honesty, you know what I'm saying, and like our warmth, I guess. And we just try to articulate that in the music as much as possible.
Right. Now, when you guys are in the studio, I mean, you are not the official producer of the group. Ninth Wonder is the producer of the group. Right. But I guess describe a little bit about, you know, what the process is like as far as, you know, coming up with compositions and concepts, structuring the songs and whatnot, because you also do quite a bit of other vocals besides your rhyming.
Yeah.
And,
yeah, pretty much, man, like doing the vocals, like doing in the studio, I'm a producer, but it's not in the beat maker sense. Like I don't make beats, but I guess you could say I'm kind of like a producer more in like the Quincy Jones kind of way, like just, you know, getting people together, you know, mapping shit out, you know, sequencing, you know, like, you know, kind of in the organizational sense. So for me, it starts with, you know, it all starts with a track. You know, me and Pooh get the track, we'll sit down, you know, throw back some concepts. I'd say 90 to 95% of the time I come up with the hooks. You know, we'll do it. A lot of times it's like I may write a hook, but Pooh's voice sounds better saying it. So it's like I'll write something and be like, okay, you know, you say it, you know what I'm saying? But that's pretty much how it works. And so pretty much like once we get into the studio, that's when the production happens, you know what I'm saying? Just, you know, going through, you know, putting it all together, you know, making it all make sense. And so that's pretty much where I come in.
you want to play any examples of the stuff that you've sang on?
Damn. All right. Yeah, I got some shit. You want me to play this? I mean, I got it, but like, if it wasn't cameras rolling, I'd play it, but like, right. I don't want this shit to like, you know, get on fucking, but
right.
But nah, I got like a whole, like, we have like some singing, the Phonte Sings in the Shower album and shit, you know what I mean? But nah, this was, is this it?
Or even the song that it was a surprise for you guys, you know?
I got you.
You know?
Okay, this is the song. Rewind! So I want to make sure y'all still with me. This is a song that, this is a project I did called The Foreign Exchange with my homeboy Nicolay. Pretty much the way we did this record, we did it all completely over the internet. This is back in '04. And essentially Nicolay is a producer I met from the Netherlands. And I just loved his tracks. And I was like, yo, why don't we start doing some shit together? He was like, cool. And we just started trading files, and you know, we had a whole album. And so the name of the album is The Foreign Exchange. The name of the group is The Foreign Exchange. The name of the album is Connected. And this was one of the singles that we put out off of that Connected album. This is me. The name of the song is Nick's Groove, and this is it's me singing the hook, and me and this chick named Rhonda Wimbush. And it's this is one of the singing joints.
Definitely for the young youth.
This is I don't think I played this for you, man.
Yeah.
I don't think I had done it. I don't think I had done it at the time. This was was it this? Ooh. I just burned the CD like a bunch of random shit. Wasn't that? What is this? Ooh. Did I put it on the CD?
Which one are you looking for?
It was yeah, it was this. This is, I don't think I played. I fuck with that shit, dog. That was my jam, yo. That shit, yo. Like, that's the type of shit, like, when you work at a retail store and, like, they be having the AM rock station on and shit. Like, you know, you be hearing, like, all the white people songs and, like, you learn to like that shit. You like, damn, I fuck with that shit, nigga. That Jessica Simpson shit banging, nigga. Since you been gone. You know, when you work, you know what I mean? Like, you gotta listen to what they play. So that was one of my favorite. Steppin Out by Joe Jackson is one of my favorite, you know, my AM rock.
Yeah.
Songs. I love that record, man. That shit is magic, yo.
What now, like, you sang on a lot of the stuff, or on a good portion of things. Which is not everybody is able to do that. So where you know, as far as your singing background goes, you know, maybe go into that a little bit. You know.
Man, singing is really just like, I mean, it's always odd, like when I get compliments for my singing, because I don't really consider myself a singer. I guess like I sing, but I don't sing, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a difference between singing and singing. Like I grew up on singers, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, Luther, you know what I'm saying, Patti LaBelle, you know what I mean? Like it was goddamn singing, you feel me? But you know, but I sing, you know, I can get you there, I walk a little bit, but I don't be singing, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, pretty much for me, it was like in church, you know what I'm saying? Like, my grandmother was like really, you know, into the church and shit. And so it was like, Sunday morning came around, you got to go.
Yeah.
Whether you want to or whether you feel the shit is justified or not, you're going. And so, you know, and then the thing is like you couldn't play sick. You know, you try to play sick from church, because then if you play sick, you got to be sick the whole day. So after church, when church get out and your boys is coming to the door, you know, wanting to play, nah, nigga, you sick, remember? Just go, man, go lay down. So, you know, you had to fucking go.
Yeah.
And so, you know, in church, you know, you sing in the choir and like do my little solos and shit. And that's pretty much it, you know what I'm saying? And then too, like singing, like the first form of music that I was actually introduced to was R&B, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't, you know, I didn't get into rap until I was probably around like, you know, 7, 8 or whatever. But like, you know, when I first was coming up, like the stuff that my mom was playing was, you know, the Luther shit, the early 80s, like the breakdance shit, you know, Shannon Let the Music Play, Nucleus, you know what I'm saying, the early 80s, you know, breakdance shit or whatever, roller skating shit. And so that was my start, was the singers.
But you're like, ironically enough though, like maybe the song that's internationally, that's, you know, you guys are best known for is one when you're singing on it.
Yeah, the Make Me Hot joint. Fuck, do I damn, can we get a power plug? 'Cause my laptop is losing power. I thought I had enough juice in it, but I didn't. I didn't burn that one on the CD, I got that one on the joint. Why he get that straight out? I'll play something, what we got? I play out some shit I've been feeling.
It was but was that a surprise? You know,
to Make Me Hot shit?
Yeah. What was the
man?
Because that was really just a skit on the album that was re-edited.
Yeah. The shit was a joke. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It was like literally a joke. And as soon as he get me hooked up, I played the song. But basically, it was a joke track with me singing, and a cat from the UK, I believe, named Yahoo, took it and made like a 10-minute mega mix of that shit. And it was long as hell. It was funny. And make me hot, pee, 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 boom, hold me down, pee. Like, that shit, do that shit for 10 minutes. Nigga, I was like, damn. But like, when we come overseas, cats would be like, yo, appreciate that, homie, appreciate that. What's your name, man? What's your name? We gotta get some text. What's your name, brother? Glenn. Give it up for Glenn, everybody. Give it up for Glenn. Hey, wonderful job on the floor, you guys. Hey, you crew, you guys are making it happen, okay? All right? That's why you make the big bucks, okay? You, not him, you, okay? All right? So yeah, dog, so it's like, so singing this shit was just, you know, I just did this song as a track, as a joke. And and my singing alter ego, his name was Percy Miracles. And I say was because now Percy is dead. And,
Percy's dead. What happened?
Dead. I ain't talked to you about it?
No. No.
Percy's dead. Oh shit! I thought y'all knew.
No, this is a huge surprise. Well, I play the.
I played something. Then we'll talk about the death of Percy. Not my singing is not dead, but just Percy as a character is dead. All right. Let me go. It was on the list.
Just a little taste.
The little brother. And I'd like talk myself through this shit. Okay, so the listening. This is off our first album, and the name of the song was "Make Me Hot." And basically, it was a joke track. Our producer, Knife, he used to work with a lot of cats around the way and shit. And so motherfuckers would come to the studio like unprepared and like not know what the fuck they wanted to do and shit. And we would call it the "Make Me Hot" syndrome. Like, you're like, what's your hook? I don't know. What you gonna rhyme about? I don't know. Just saying, Pete, just make me hot, dog. Just make it hot. And so we wrote a song about it. Well, I wrote a song about it, like just joking about that shit. And it became a phenomenon, surprisingly.
What's the deal with all that?
That was That was what sparked the Percy revolution. And so then,
So what is the alter ego?
Percy was my alter ego.
Percy Miracles. Right.
And Percy Miracles was like basically he was basically like an amalgamation of like, you know, my favorite blues singers and like all my old uncles and shit, you know what I'm saying? Right. So it's like, so basically Percy's first appearance was on the listening. So then when the Minstrel Show came around,
you gonna play?
Yeah, I played, yeah.
Right.
The Minstrel Show came around, again, the album was set up like an episode of Saturday Night Live, so Percy was the musical guest. And so his song was called Cheatin. He performed a song called Cheatin, which was like, you know, like my attempt at like a R. Kelly, Ron Isley like duet and shit, you know what I mean? Like just fucking around. Again, this shit is all jokes and shit. And so this was Cheatin from the Minstrel Show. Mm. Percy Miracles featuring Mr. Biggs. So
now that's not easy to do.
It really is, man.
To simulate that type of R. Kelly.
It's easier than you think, man. It really is.
Well, to do it that precisely.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that, brother. But
I always thought that could be, you know, actually released as.
And that was why Percy's dead. That was why I had to kill him. It's over. Yeah. I swear to God. Because the thing is, man, like, and I'd actually like wrote a blog about this, like on my MySpace, myspace.com/little brother. But the thing about it is like, you know what I'm saying? We're in a different day and age, and so Percy Miracles was like something that I created as like an alter ego. Just to like do just the wild, crazy, just stupid, outlandish shit that like I like to do, you know what I mean? So, you know, I did the Make Me Hot shit, did Cheatin or whatever, and I remember the funny thing with Cheatin. Funny thing with Cheatin, like we did it, and then after it was over, I remember like sitting back thinking like, word up, this is some of the most ignorant shit ever, like that was supposed to illustrate the point of the Minstrel Show of what, you know, music has kind of become. So we do Cheatin, and I'm thinking I have like the ignorant crown, and then like 2 weeks later, R. Kelly came out with Trapped in the Closet. So next to Trapped in the Closet, Cheatin sounds like fucking Luther Vandross, you know what I'm saying? Like it sounds just like a regular song. And it was at that point I realized, I'm like, okay, that was one. And then, you know, just, you know, it's just a hard line, like, to do parody. Like, it's very hard, particularly with black music and with, like, urban, you know, the hip-hop and R&B. It's very hard to parody that music because so often it parodies itself. And so the thing about Percy is that if motherfuckers don't think it's a joke, then the joke is on you.
Yeah.
And I ain't going out like that. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like...
Otherwise, we would have invited Percy here.
Otherwise, Percy could have came. He, you know, I don't know if his visa was right out. You know, he had a couple warrants. I don't know if he could have crossed the border, but, you know, he might have could have came, but it's a different era, man. And, like, you have kids now that, you know, like, when we was coming up, you know, the Humpty Dance was, you know, we had our novelty records, too. We had, you know, I guess, you know, Humpty Dance and fucking, you know, Whoop There It Is and Whoop There It Is. And, you know, we had those just kind of fun novelty records, too, but those are the exception, you know what I'm saying? But nowadays, like, the novelty records are the rule. And so I just decided it was just way too dangerous for me to kind of play on trying to mock and trying to parody that stuff because a lot of shit on the radio now is a fucking parody. So, you know, I was like, I had to be more responsible, I guess. You know?
Well, let me ask you something because, you know, just going off of the experience with Atlantic and everything, you had mentioned, you know, not slipping into the trap of being like the so-called, the angry rapper, the mad rapper, you know, a bitter sort of critic. And I mean, the thing about an album like that to me is, even though you have a track like that, it's not like a track that's complaining about, you know, everything. You know what I mean? And to me, I don't get that from your music as far as like it being just a gripe session all the time. So I don't know, is it something you can speak to about being wary of that and falling into that kind of persona? Because I think that's what happens with a lot of underground cats. It's like,
it did.
You know,
it did. I guess with now, you know what I'm saying, as which a lot of y'all know, I mean, one of the biggest words that like in the music vocabulary that I just fucking can't stand is the word hate or hater. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like you can't have a fucking opinion. Like you're automatically, you know, oh, you a hater, son, you hating, you hating, you hating. And it's just a word that's used to kind of dismiss and to excuse a lot of bullshit. And it's just like, dude, like if I don't like your music, you know, that's not hate. It's just like, you know, it's a lot of stuff that sells that I understand why it sells, and it's like I get it. You know, I understand that there's a market for it, and I understand why it moves. So when I say I don't like it, it's not that I'm hating. It's just not for me. You know what I'm saying? It's not intended for. I'm not the demographic for, you know, that type of record. So as far as us like kind of being like I guess hip hop haters or whatever, being seen in that light, I think it's like for you, because I mean, because you know the music, you know what I'm saying, and like you kind of get it. You got to get where we're coming from, because you know we kind of from the same era, you know what I mean, for more or less. Right. But the casual music listeners now, like hate is like a part of their vocabulary. So the minute they just, you know, if they don't see you just kind of falling in line and doing everything that everybody else is doing, they kind of assume you're a hater. So so taking that into consideration for the next record, it was just. We're working on a new album now, and the new album is called Get Back. And we're supposed to have it out, like, I think in like spring. But it's just pretty much with me, like how we were discussing last night, like just kind of taking everything that happened with the Minstrel Show and kind of internalizing it and really making sense of it all. And looking back on the record, I still think it was a great record, and I still am proud of it. Mm-hmm. But I don't like the way I handled it. I think I kind of took a lot of that stuff to heart when I really didn't have to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I started caring about shit that didn't matter. And that's what I would encourage all of you, you know what I'm saying, the more and more you go into this business. One of the best quotes I've ever heard about, you know, about making music was from this cat named Eric Roberson, who's a singer out of Jersey. And he was like, man, the only reason why we do this shit, the main reason why we make music is because every time we do it, we want it to feel like the first time. And to me, that like summed it up perfectly, because that a lot of the reasons why we do it, you know what I'm saying? And so just looking back on my career and like the kind of, you know, the dips and dives and turns and shit that it took in just a short time, I started caring about shit that didn't matter. It's like, you know, I started like watching sound scans and fucking reading radio spin charts and like just doing all this shit, which, you know, as a businessman, I mean, you know, you have to protect your business and get into it, but as an artist, it's like, yo, like, you have to sit back and like, yo, why the fuck am I reading this? Like, I never read Billboard a day in my life. Like, why the fuck do I care? Like, why am I watching, you know, like, fucking sales figures and charts and, like, that's industry shit. My label's supposed to be doing that, not me, you know what I'm saying? And so, I guess with Get Back, the new album, is just about us just kind of getting back. Well, me personally, I can't speak for the other members of the group, but just for me personally, just getting back to the reason why I did it. You know what I'm saying? When I first started writing rhymes, I didn't sit down and be like, yo, if I write this rhyme the right way, Clear Channel is gonna play my shit all day. Or, you know, if I write this right, then BET is gonna have my video on Smash. I didn't care about none of that shit. And so when I saw myself starting to get too involved in the industry side and caring about stuff like that, I kind of had to fall back and take inventory. And so that's what the new record is about. And, you know, that's what I would say to each and every one of you. Just try to remain as close and, you know, keep whatever that is in you that's pure, that keeps you wanting to make music, keep that as pure as possible. You know what I'm saying? Because once you lose that, then it's a wrap. So that's what I would say.
At this point, I want to ask if anybody has any questions for Phonte, and we'll pass the mic around. Let's just hold up a second. Let's get the mic where it needs to go.
Hi, I wanted to ask you about that BET thing that happened a year ago where BET refused to air your video because it deemed too intelligent for their target audience. They stepped back and played it like in a late night shit. How do you view that situation 1 year after it?
Man, the BET situation, for those of you that may not know, BET is like the black entertainment television in the States. And we did a video for our first single from the Minstrel Show, Loving It. And, you know, the video to me was normal, but, you know, they didn't play it. And the word that we got and the word that, you know, circulated the internet and all everywhere was that they didn't play it because they felt it was too intelligent for the target audience. You know what I'm saying? I'm not making this up, I swear to God. And so, so that was it. And so, you know, we kind of waiting, and I ain't gonna lie, if there was ever a time where I felt like, I knew that the Minstrel Show was like not gonna do that well, like that was one of the moments. Like, look, I swear to God, dog, like it's so many times, like, I'm not a big believer in like, I guess like omens and shit, but like, it was so many fucking omens that the album was fucking doomed from the jump, I swear to God, yo, like the first day we came to Atlantic, like to promote the album, like the day of the album release, it was like raining and shit, and so we up in Atlantic on like 28 floors up, looking out over the city, and it's like gloomy and shit, and just stormy and shit. It's just like, ah, shit, like it's so fucked up. And so then the BET shit jumped off, and it was like nobody at the label kind of came to our rescue. You know what I'm saying? It was like nobody in the building fought for us. And so what ended up happening, I think BET ended up issuing a statement saying like, yeah, well, you know, we have the right to play what we want to play, and we can't confirm that that was said or whatever. Basically, like giving niggas a stiff arm. And so basically what ended up happening, the single dropped in August. Sometime around like October, November, they played the video like for a week just to kind of prove a point.
Yeah.
And then the shit was over. So, but by that time they did it, it was too little too late because the record had been out. So, you know. So looking back on it, man, once again, I kind of use that the same way. I kind of look at, you know, BET, like your outlets like that. I look at them the same way I look at radio. Was my music too intelligent for their audience? I don't think so, but I don't think that, you know, if you take, you know, Laffy Taffy, chicken noodle soup, peanut butter and jelly, you know, lean with it, rock with it, and loving it, what stands out in this picture? You know what I'm saying? So for me, once again, I mean, I think I'm just kind of at the point of my career where I'm just kind of done complaining about the media outlets and the radio. They gonna do what this is gonna do. They gonna be what it's gonna be. I'm more concerned with our new shit, just trying to find other outlets and taking it into our own hands and building up some shit for people like us. Like, let them niggas have that shit. I think Odyssey had his hand first. Oh, you got the mic?
He's got the mic.
Oh,
So
right.
Todd, you go ahead.
First off, much respect to you and your work.
Thank you, brother.
It's
Appreciate
an
it.
honor and a pleasure to have you here. On that note, what you're just explaining, I'm wondering where's little brother going now, label-wise? I don't know if you can disclose.
Oh, no, we still on Atlantic.
Yeah.
That's what, well, let me, yeah, no, I'm saying. It could change. Nah, we still on Atlantic. We had meetings with the label, I guess it's been a couple weeks ago. And going into the new record, everybody is kind of aware of the mistakes that were made on the last one. The label's aware of where they fucked up, we're aware of where we fucked up. And so, at least this time around, everybody's kind of going into it with a clearer picture. So, I didn't want to turn this into like a, you know, Atlantic Records bitch fest because, you know, it's not, you know, they don't deserve that. They certainly made some mistakes, but, you know, so did we on that end. So, yeah, we're still on Atlantic. Going into this record, it looks like things will be better, but we'll all just wait and see. You know, one thing I've learned is, you know, don't count your chickens for their hats, bro. I swear to God, you'll be assed out. It should be over.
I had a question, man. I wanted to know.
Nah, son, nah. Don't do that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Why you gotta curry me like that on TV? Nah, man, I wanted to know how much of a factor you think Payola plays in artists like yourself not being played on urban radio?
Man, Payola. All right, it's like this, dog. It's like Payola for what, if some of you may not be aware of that term. Payola is just the term, it was an old school term that was basically just mean pay for play. You know what I'm saying? If I know Mao was the hot new program director at, you know, hot Foxy 109.7, then I'm coming to him, yo, Mao, what's going on, brother? How you doing? Hey, listen, man, I got this new Odyssey record here, man. This shit is crazy, man. You need to just, you know, check this out, man. And, you know, just for, hold on, let me, you know, a little something for your troubles, you know what I'm saying? A little something in there for you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Right. And it was basically just paying for play, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, people have different views on it. I don't think that, you know, I think people should do whatever they want to do to get heard, you know what I'm saying? Like, so if you want to give a DJ some money to play your record, then that's what you want to do. But the only problem that occurs, like most things, the little guy kind of gets taken out. And so that's A. You know what I'm saying? The golden rule, whoever has the gold makes the rules. That's pretty much, how this shit works. And so that's one side of it. Now, the other side of it that I don't think a lot of people may not be aware of is that there are some records do kind of get through the cracks or whatever. But the thing about it is, again, we're talking about demographics. The thing about radio is not about selling music. Radio is about selling silence to advertisers.
Yeah.
You feel me? So at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck how great your song is. I don't give, you may have wrote just a great opus that is going to change the world. If 14-year-old girls ain't blowing up my phones to request that shit, I don't give a damn. Because I'm trying to sell tickets to this summer jam, and I'm trying to get this advertiser to buy some more time. So if they ain't reacting to it, then homie, sorry. Yeah, you can pay me all you want, but I mean, so once again, it's kind of double-edged. It's in the middle. It's like, yeah, people do pay for records, and I mean, that does happen. And repetition is law. Of course, the more and more you play something, it's gonna catch on. But I would think that that's more to do with your, I guess kind of your snap records, like a lot of the real, like the lean with it, rock with it, like your real simple stuff, you know what I'm saying? Because the more and more they play that, that's easy to remember. A song like Lovin' It by Little Brother, or Don't Feel Right by, The Roots, or Kick Push, or I Got You by Lupe Fiasco, like, I don't care how much you play them, it's like, still, dude, you trying to feed steak to babies, you know what I'm saying? And so that's where it kind of comes in. I actually had a friend of mine, interesting story, he works at a radio station, and, he works for a radio station, and they had an online contest to where you could vote to see what new song would go in rotation. And one was an underground artist, and, well, quote unquote, underground artist, one of us, I guess. And then another one was like, a New York, kind of street rapper or whatever. And of course it's online, so, the underground guy won. I mean, because, we came out in full force and shit, the nerds and shit. I'm voting 10 times, nigga, fuck that. So, the underground guy won by like 20%. But no, I'm tripping, by like 80% or some crazy shit. And so, they go to the program director and they like, yo, homeboy won or whatever. It's like, the program director was like, okay, well, where's this guy from? He's from New York. Okay, where's the other guy from? He's from New York too. Okay. Well, who do the kids like? Well, the kids like, I guess, the other guy, the street guy. Okay, well, we're gonna put that in rotation. So, once again, I mean, it all comes down to just advertising and shit. Like, even though the guy won the popular vote, I guess, it was on the internet. And I guess that kind of goes back to the whole thing of believing your own hype and kind of knowing who we are. It's like, if I'm a radio person, if I'm a radio personality or a program director, am I gonna believe more in a bunch of geek motherfuckers just, spamming on the internet, or am I gonna believe in like those, 15-year-olds calling, yo, put that in rotation, Yeah. So it's kind of fucked up all around, man. So, but yeah, to answer your question, yeah, Payola does still exist, but from where I see it, it's not quite as black and white as it is, particularly for stuff that what we do. Like, it's a different ball game, man. And what's up?
Hi, what's going on? You mentioned earlier about just when you spent time just looking at things that you thought you didn't need to, like charts and stuff like that, and playlists or whatever. And what did you do to kind of switch off from that? Because, like, I think in the UK sometimes, because it's quite a small net of DJs, I guess sometimes they've got their favourites sometimes,
yeah.
And sometimes they'll be proper supportive, but then there's times where they're just like, for no reason, will switch, and I think that's just DJs anyway. But then there's times where you just want to switch and be just like, you don't want to make no music for them, which you shouldn't anyway. But I mean, I'm talking about like if I see them out.
It's gonna hurt them, it's gonna be some problems.
Yeah, and then I feel like I'm just...
consequences and repercussions.
Yeah, I just feel like I'm starting to hate, like, every DJ. Like, how do you, like, switch off from that and still keep making music, like?
Well, the thing about the DJs that, you know, in the commercial radio that you gotta understand, they're fucking employees at the end of the day. Like, DJs do not break records no more, you know what I'm saying? And so when you look at, you know, getting mad at your DJ for not playing your record, it's like getting mad at the nigga who work at McDonald's for not making a bun with no sesame seeds on it. You know what I'm saying? It's like, motherfucker, this is in the McDonald's textbook. I have to have a sesame seed bun. Every Big Mac is gonna be 2 all-beef patties, special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions, on sesame seed bun. Now, if you want me to take something off, I might take it off. If you want me to put something on, you want bacon on your Big Mac, I can't do that. That ain't in the McDonald's handbook, baby. I lose my job, nigga. That's essentially what radio DJs are. Real shit. They are fucking employees. And, you know, they're told what to play, when to play it, and how many times to play it. So, as far as, you know, once again, you know what I'm saying, as far as, like, I guess just how you keep from just wanting to choke a motherfucker, is just realize their position. It's like, dude, like, you know, at the end of the day, you have a job to do, and I'm not gonna tell you how to do your job. I'm just gonna find my own shit. I'm gonna find another outlet, you know what I'm saying, with all the many, you know, the media shit, you know, with the advent of MySpace and fucking YouTube, and YouTube is pretty much like my MTV2 now, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's been videos that I see more shit on YouTube than I watch on TV, you know what I'm saying? And so, you know, shit like that, I mean, you know, until it eventually gets gobbled up and, you know, becomes some corporate shit. Yeah. But we got it for now, so, you know, use it while we got it. But, yeah, just build your own shit, man. Excuse me, Glenn? I'm not taking any questions from her. You can talk.
I was just wondering, why are you called Little Brother?
Why we call Little Brother?
Yeah.
Little Brother. I normally would fuck with people ask that question, but you get a pass, because, you know, I'm overseas. But normally journalists would ask that question, and, like, I'd tell them this long, drawn-out story about I had a brother that died of leukemia and shit, and they'd be believing me and shit, and they'd be crying, and then I'd bust out laughing. As you know. Just to have a little fun. But, nah, Little Brother, it's just basically like, you know, pretty much when we first came up with the name, it was just some shit that looked good on paper, really. And, like, we just wrote down a bunch of names, and we was like, that Little Brother, all right, that shit worked. Like, all right. And so that was initially it. And so, but eventually it came to realize, we came to kind of come up with the meaning of, like, us kind of being the little brothers of all the groups that we grew up listening to, you know what I'm saying? And from our era, you know, the Public Enemies, NWA, Ghetto Boys, Tribe, De La, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, all those groups were like our bigger brothers in the game, and we kind of grew up watching them and, you know, and idolizing them. But once we got the ball, so to speak, and, you know, could kind of run the game ourselves, we were like their little brothers following in their footsteps, you know what I'm saying? And just following in the tradition of making good music, and that's where the name came from.
It's not because you're the anti-Big Brother?
No, I'm not anti-Big Brother, not necessarily, but, you know, just,
right.
You know, it is what it is. Right. That shit is damn. That shit magic, homie.
Anybody else?
Oh, man.
Who or what is blowing your mind right now?
Who
or what is blowing your mind right now?
is blowing my mind?
Yeah, man.
Man,
What are you digging
listen. Man, yo, I listen to so much shit, dog. Like, this is like, that's my joint. I did burn a CD, like, just a couple joints I'm feeling. I mean, I got shit on my laptop, too, of course. This is like, I guess, I listen to just so much stuff, so it kind of depends on the mood I'm in. This is one of my favorite songs that, from an unlikely source. This is a singer. Anybody that can guess who this is, I give him this CD. I give him this CD that I burned. But, like, some of y'all might know. I know you know, but, like, this is like, he was big in the 80s, and, like, he blew up in the 80s, but his 80s shit was, like, kind of popcorn. He had some good songs, though. But in, like, late 70s, like early 80s, this was like a joint. I think it was like 81, I think. When he was still on that other label. But this is like one of my dance joints. Like we was talking about like dances, like this is my stepping out shit right here. Anybody know what that is? Anybody?
Well,
he got it. I got you. That was before the get out of my dreams, get in my car, yo. Get out of my dreams, get in the backseat, baby.
It's on the Jane Fonda workout.
That's on the Jane Fonda workout?
So, yeah.
Are you bullshitting?
I think it is, yeah.
Hey, that's the jam. This is actually, I don't know if it's still here, it was a cat from the group Fat Freddy's Drop. Is he still here? This is actually a remix of a song that Jazzanova did for theirs called Flashback, and this shit is like, people that blow, as far as like people that just blow my mind, like Jazzanova, and that whole Sonar Collective family, like, that shit is kind of mind-boggling. That shit's hard nosed.
Yo.
I remember that shit. What's I got up there? This is. Oh, I brought this for. I have one play G. Like this is like some shit G might fuck with. This is actually a trumpeter from Finland. His name is Jukka Eskola. Some of y'all may be up on him. I don't know. But the name of this song is 1974. And like, and when my man sent this to me, I really thought the shit was from 1974, but the album is like 2 years old. It just came out that shit. This shit is stupid. This is like salsa dancing and shit. Like, this is the type of shit I like to do to this. Like, this is my salsa shit right here. Yeah, that's that fire. That's that shit, dog. That shit, yo, like, that shit, yo. Like, shit like that be inspiring me, yo. Like, for real, for real. This is like, you know, this is like, chicken shit. Chicken chicken. Yeah, this is like, sometimes, you know, like, I listen to all my art shit, you know, the good, you know, the art, the good fight shit or whatever, but like, at the end of the day, you know, I am a black man from the South, and you know, you have to remind the motherfucker every once in a while, so when I feel like just being that, I'm bumping this. All right. Fuck, that's my jam, right? Fuck that shit. I fuck with it though.
I think Steve over here had a question.
All right, what's up?
Yeah, I just had a quick question about labels and things. What was that Atlantic, the terms like on that deal, if you don't mind talking about that?
The terms of the deal? Well, I mean...
Terms and options.
Pretty much. I mean, we got this album, and then after that, it's like, who knows, so...
Well, that was one of the things earlier, a couple of days ago, when Cut Chemist was here. He was talking about not having an option on the next album and how that affected his, you know, some of his push because the label didn't necessarily feel like they had something that was going to pay off towards the next.
It was in, exactly. Yeah.
You know how like if a coach in sports doesn't have, they're in their last year of their contract, people feel like they're a lame duck.
That's exactly.
Yeah.
What I mean.
Is that something that's, you know, I mean, you guys obviously is early in the process, but
yeah, I mean, we still have we still have albums left on our contract, so it's like, you know, if they guaranteed like for us to do 2 records. You know what I mean? So it was like, okay, you know what I'm saying, we'll do 2. They guaranteed us like, okay, we'll definitely put out 2. Then after that, it goes from like option, you know what I'm saying, the option. So for this record, I mean, they'll put it out, and then the way the game is now, I mean, if this one does good, then I mean we'll get another record on Atlantic. If it doesn't, I don't think we will, quite honestly. Because the thing about it is that like and we were talking about this earlier, like the thing that made labels kind of great in the past is like every label pretty much has a superstar that finances all the flops. You feel what I'm saying? Like every label has like a Black Eyed Peas, you know, Interscope has like a Black Eyed Peas and a 50 Cent that help pay for the Interpols of the world, you know what I'm saying? And so it's like, but now the game is, you know, and sales are down so much, the fact that it ain't no more superstars. And the superstars that are out there ain't selling what they used to sell. And so it's pretty much like every label is pretty much fucking counting their pennies because, you know, the whole thing of like, well, you know, this guy's financing all the little guys. This guy ain't even financing his own shit no more. So it's becoming even more of just kind of like a dog-eat-dog kind of cutthroat thing because, you know, the labels are losing money, just fucking hemorrhaging money from all over. And so you know, so with us, I just think it's gonna be a thing of like, you know, they'll see, you know, the type of reaction the album gets, and just kind of go from there. Me personally, I just know that, you know, the music we make and the stuff that we do, no matter where we land, I know I'm gonna land on my feet. So it's, you know, whether it's Atlantic or whether it's, you know, Homeboy on the Corner Records, you know, whatever the fuck, it's like, I'm just still do me and do what I do.
Yeah.
Man, I wanted to like do this like as a little challenge or whatever. Like this is a song that I really love, and I wanted to offer like a sample challenge like to anybody, any of the producers out there. Like if y'all want to take this shit and like chop it up and do something with it, like we'll see if we can like, y'all make something dope, like we'll do a song. Let's like try to do something. You know what I'm saying? I love this song, but like I don't know, you know what I'm saying? If like y'all might think it's gay and like it can't be chopped up, but you know, this is what I fuck with. But it's a group called the Free Design. Well, I know he's shot whatever. You might be up on this, I don't know. But it's a group called the Free Design. They were like, it's like 60s, 70s. They were like an East Coast answer to the Mamas and the Papas, and they did a cover of Light My Fire by The Doors. And like the harmonies, I'm a real big like harmony fan. The harmonies are like tight as fuck. I want somebody like to chop that shit up and do some shit to it. But I don't know. I mean, y'all listen, let me know. Man, that shit hard. That shit, yo, that shit feel like you standing on top of some shit, like you rise up, like that, play that shit, like that's like my theme music. That shit hard, boy. That shit right.
Anybody else have any questions for Mr. Phonte Coleman?
This is my jam right here, yo. I'm just playing jams now. Fuck this. This is my joint. I'm off my lap. Like this to me, if there's anything that's out right now, like my man, like it's like the record that I just can't stop playing. Like some may consider it a guilty pleasure. I personally don't believe in guilty pleasures because why should you feel guilty about something that you're getting pleasure from? Like fuck it, you know what I mean? But like this is my jam right now. Like it's nothing else topping this right now. As of right now, it ain't shit topping this right now. Fuck that. Let's bring that back. Bring it back one more time. That shit, yo. I want to play, yo, if we go to the club, who's the DJ in the club last night?
It was Adam man here.
Oh, it was my man right there. Yeah. Can you hook that up for me? Can you just run that for me one time? Tonight? Ain't we going to the club?
I'm playing tonight. I played last night.
You in the club? Can you run that for me? I got you. Round of applause for Judith, everybody. Judith. Hey. Love what you're doing. Hey, that's why you make the big bucks. I took them from him. I gave them to you. Yeah, hey. Lovely on the floor, everyone. Yeah, that's my jam, like, because music supposed to make you feel, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that shit, like, that shit just make me, it's just like, the sexy back joint, like, that's supposed to be the new sexy song, whatever. It don't affect me like that Omarion shit. It just don't. Like, that shit make me want to just put water on my chest and watch that shit glisten, nigga, like, just put a light on me and just watch that shit. That shit make me want to just get a pedicure and walk barefoot through some sand or some shit, like, nigga, just, ooh, as soon as that shit come on, like, oh, y'all can't sit still when that beat drops, soon as it drops. Oh.
That one too.
That one too, y'all can't sit still, y'all, as soon as that shit drop, everybody just get sexy. Watch, I'm gonna watch it. Get the camera, watch everybody's faces. Watch everybody, watch the sex look just come on their face. You can't front on that shit. Watch. It's undeniable, man. It's undeniable, yo. That shit is hard. So yeah, you gonna run that for me tonight? Word up. I'm gonna be two-stepping hard off that shit. Hard.
Does anybody else have any questions for Phonte? Hold on a second.
On the next Little Brother album, do you think you're gonna get any guests, maybe?
Well, we do have like some guests already, or a guest in particular. It's probably gonna surprise a lot of people. Oh, excuse me. But the song we came out with is real dope. So for this one, probably gonna reach out to a couple people, but
too early to say?
Yeah, kind of too early to say, and then too, like, we still gotta kind of build up who we are, you know what I mean? Yeah. So it's kind of, it's kind of hard to get like, you know, a crazy big name and, you know, kind of work that as your single or whatever, because people still don't have an identity of who Little Brother is. So it's kind of hard, you know, if you put out, you know, Little Brother featuring Justin Timberlake, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's gonna do more for Justin than it's gonna do for us, you know what I'm saying? So, I mean, just use him as an example. I don't know him, but, you know, I'm just saying. So, we are gonna have a few key guests, but other than that, it's gonna be kind of spare. Doing a lot of outside production, though. A lot of new producers. Yeah. Well, not new, but you know.
Outside of Ninth?
Yeah, outside of Ninth.
What is the conscious decision made with as far as that goes?
Well, this is pretty much, man. I mean, we gotta grow. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just like, you know, it's a lot of cats that we've always wanted to work with. You know, Primo, he reached out, you know, to do something for the record.
Right.
Just Blaze, a real big fan, big supporter. Knots from Virginia,
right.
Alchemist, you know what I'm saying? And so it's just so much more. I think with all of our past records, the direction has kind of been defined by the sound, and the sound has been the one thing that kept it all together. Mm-hmm. But I think with the new record, me and Pooh are gonna be the glue that keeps it all together. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a different experience. But we like 6 tracks deep in so far, and right. I'm having the time of my life with this shit, man.
Right.
Any future collaborations with Nicolay?
Yeah, me and Nick are talking about, we kind of like pre-planning the new Foreign Exchange record. We just got to finish the Little Brother album first, by like December, I believe, and then after we finish that, then I'll go and, you know, me and Nick will probably start a new FE record around like January, February. Mm-hmm. But we definitely got plans to do another one, though.
Anybody else?
That shit, come on, I be seeing y'all. Y'all be chilling in this with you. Yo, that shit's my body, man. Oh my God. Baby, I want you to be my entourage. Is my question?
All right. Well, if you have more questions, you can always find Mr. Phonte Coleman. But
yeah, I just want to say thank y'all, man. For real, man. Yeah. You're far too kind. Thank you. Can I get an encore? Do you want more? Nah, thank y'all for real, man. Like, for real. Like, it's I always wanted to do some shit like this, and like, you know, I just try not to. I was telling Jeff earlier, like, this is I kind of shy away from shit like that because I feel it's kind of presumptuous and kind of just, you know, you have to be kind of big-headed to assume that a bunch of motherfuckers want to hear you yammer for goddamn an hour and shit. But you know, so I try to, you know, keep it interesting, keep it fun, and you know, do me, but. I really thank y'all, man. This has been an incredible experience.
All right.
I really thank y'all.